the debate was last night. It was interesting to watch. I thought Marco Rubio won, followed up by Donald Trump, Chris Christie, and Ted Cruz. Kyle Cheney of Politico joining us right now to discuss. Kyle, how are you?
I'm doing great. Great to be here.
Great. Thanks for taking the time. So when after the third debate, Jeb Bush comes out with a statement saying, my campaign's not terminal. If you're coming out and saying your campaign's not terminal, doesn't that in fact mean your campaign is terminal?
You know, I have trouble calling anything terminal because we've been so wrong with everything else in this campaign. But I think it's definitely not a sign of someone who thought he won the debate.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty indisputably not a good night for Jeb Bush, and a night he needs a good night because he's already been struggling. You know,
Kyle, I was trying to quantify this because, if you're Rand Paul, it's really not embarrassing that you're at the end of the stage with one leg hanging off the stage and they're not really talking to you and no one's interacting with you and you're like that weird guy at a party that just like kind of is in the corner. I mean, because nobody was expecting you to win this thing, but if you're Jeb Bush, all these money men dumping hundreds of millions of dollars into you, and you've been not just critically panned, but really awful and pathetic. How embarrassing is this politically for the former Florida governor?
If in the end, if the Bush campaign does end up falling apart here, people are going to look and say the expectations were just too great. Yes, the money coming in automatically raises the expectations, and that's partly they're doing. They foreshadowed the whole $100 million thing. They beat it, but then that's the mark of someone who should be a top-tier candidate, but they've been spending that money, and it hasn't made a lick of difference in the polls and anywhere in any of the early states. So, he is the most to lose because of all that, and that's why Rand Paul can sit at the end of the stage and be fine. For Bush, if he doesn't win, it's an automatic loss.